All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the What Makes Us Human podcast. My guest today is John Fontaine. John, great to see you again,
Hey,
man.
likewise, sir. Yeah.
Funny, this is only the second time I think I've ever hung out with
Yeah,
you.
I think so.
Like stay in regular touch on Instagram and all that.
That's definitely.
It seems like when you got a buddy who you can just like throw memes back and forth at, and it's like that's how you communicate.
Exactly.
It's pretty good stuff.
I love that, yeah. And we have some good conversations. Yeah.
But anyway, as we talked about before, Army background, law enforcement background, grew up playing hockey and everything, still play.
Yep, still playing.
So what set you up for all that?
Man, yeah, I guess we can start back to growing up in Minnesota. So I'm originally from Duluth, Minnesota, and I spent most of my life out there. And I grew up playing hockey. Like in Minnesota, it's the state of hockey. So plenty of other winter sports you can play, but if you're not playing hockey, it's kind of weird. So I started playing hockey. I was a late bloomer too. I started playing, I think I was 8 or 9 years old. A lot of guys are starting around 3 years old, 4, start playing. And so I got in a little late, but I was always the bigger kid and that. And believe it or not, actually, my parents had to bring my birth certificate with because I know.
You were that big, huh?
I was that big. I was maxed out. I think in 7th grade, I was at 6'5" already. Yeah.
Holy crap.
Yeah. So then I stopped growing, thank goodness. But yeah, just growing up, played all through high school and that, and the military, man, that kind of came in just because all my family members, they were all. I think I lost the thing here too. Did it go down? Dang it! Sorry, everybody.
That's all right.
Yeah. So back to the military. So. All my family members were in the military. My dad was, uncles, grandparents, all did something in the military. So it just kind of felt like it was part of me to go there. And I was super young when I enlisted at 17. I did the whole delayed entry program. So my senior year, I actually didn't play hockey. I was so focused on going into the military, and I wanted to be an Army Ranger and eventually a Green Beret. That was my whole goal. My dad brought me to Saving Private Ryan when I was 5 years old. Yeah, so I was in the movie theater, and he's probably like, man, I don't know if I should have brought you, but I was like, wow, this is crazy. And then Black Hawk Down came out, and I was like, I want to do the military. And maybe it's just because it's I don't know if it's in our blood or whatnot, but it was just a family tradition in a sense. So I'm like, I felt obligated to go. Now, when the whole 9/11 thing happened, I was in 1st grade. So fast forward to my senior year, it's been, 2011, my senior year. I'm now getting ready to go into the military. Took my senior year off in hockey because I wanted to be the best and at basic training and all that. I just want to be prepared. So spent my whole senior year getting ready for the Army. Went to basic training 17 days after graduation down to Fort Benning, Georgia for the infantry. And I went down there, and before going to basic training, I went to MEPS to get my Ranger contract and all that. So I went through the whole airborne stuff, and they're like, yep, you're good, you're qualified, you can go down there. When I got to basic, I didn't have the contract. I had nothing. So I was just a regular average infantryman. So after graduation, luckily I got stuck. I didn't get stuck, but I got stationed at Fort Carson, Colorado. So I was very fortunate about that because there's a ton of armpits to get stationed with the Army, and I'm like, man, Colorado's gonna be beautiful, and it was. But yeah, my upbringing with hockey and all that, just the team, the mindset, and it's a brutal sport, and it's tough, right? And I'd say it's probably one of the toughest sports out there. It's a fast-paced game, and you got to be tough. You got to get your body out in front of the net. You got to block shots, and I was a defenseman too, so. Here, taking a lot of pucks.
Love that. I always played defense too.
Yeah, it's the best. I love hanging out there on the blue line in front of the net. But I'm happy that my parents allowed me to play that sport because it is an expensive sport. But I really feel like I grew up with the whole team mindset and pushing yourself in the adversity and the sport and dealing in those situations when you are losing, right? To continue to have that mindset to keep pushing and pushing. And I brought that into the military as well, right? But yeah, the military, I know I'm kind of bouncing all around. When I got to Afghanistan in 2012, like right after basic training, I was in Colorado for I think all 3 months before I went to Afghanistan. When I got over there, I started to see things a little differently. When I was in high school, I was like, man, I'm gonna go out there and we're going to go fight this war and kick their asses, right? What they did to us. Granted, remember now it's 2012. 9/11 happened back in 2001, right? So I'm over there and I'm like 3 months in and I'm sitting there on top of this mountain post and I'm just like, what the hell are we doing out here? You know, I started to realize like, I don't know what I'm doing at this point. Like all I know is I just want to get home. All my boys get home and then I don't know if I'm going to get out at this point. I still want to be a Green Beret, but I'm like, is it worth it? I don't know. So Afghanistan was, like I said, I was there in 2012, most of 2012, and I was 19 at the time. And our whole operations out there, our whole mission, I should say, was to teach the ANA, like weapons maintenance, tactics, because the coalition forces were leaving. We were leaving at the end of October of 2012. So this whole area of operation was going to be passed on to the ANA, and then they could do their thing because we're eventually leaving Afghanistan. And 3 months in, we lost our LT. It was kind of like an ambush in a sense. It was assassination. Taliban dude got a hold of an ANA uniform early in the morning, just point blank, done. And then he hit the first sergeant, and then my buddy Galvin got hit in the stomach. But those guys lived, but LT was killed right there. And then, so that was 3 months in, right? And then you start to realize, like, what the hell's going on? And then the base got blown up. Fob Bossa got hit with a recoilless rifle. I'm sure you're familiar with those weapons.
I'm not.
It's like a rocket launcher in a sense, a larger, I don't know if it's a missile projectile, hit the 155 howitzer pit. And this is after LT's death, and we were over there to refit and have his funeral. And one morning, we were so used to the nighttime schedule that we would stay up all night because where our base was, Coppertle King, it was like a fishbowl. So it's just mountains all around you, and we did everything at nighttime because of sniper fire and whatnot. So we all went to bed super early in the morning, like 6 a.m. And then shortly after that, we're laying our heads down, and the loudest explosion of my life to this day, nothing will ever beat that. We all got tossed from our bunks. The base was fucked. So that recoilless rifle hit our 155 pit, and a couple guys were killed over there in the artillery unit. A lot of guys got fucked up. And at that point, we're just going around, holding perimeter and all that, making sure like nobody's gonna ambush us. And I'm just sitting there. I had this first sergeant. He's like, "Hey, Private Fontaine, what do you think about all this?" And I'm like, "Man, it's fucking real, right?" That's all I can say. Man, this is fucking real, and I don't know what to think. But our time went on and kept going on, and I'm just sitting there like, God, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing here. Like I get in firefights pretty much every day, and I'm like, for what? What are we doing here still? Why is the DEA here? What's the fuck's going on? So it was my time over in Afghanistan. We weren't going through and hitting high value targets. Like I said, our whole mission was to train these ANA guys because we were getting the F out of there. So I spent most of my time up on a mountain at OP Bar Eli, and we were just conducting surveillance and fire support for when the convoys were leaving, just so we can keep a clear eye on the valleys and mountaintops. So it was like Groundhog Day for 6 months up there. And the rest of the time I was down in the valley, but most of the time I was up at OP Bar Eli, and every day it's just a firefight, Groundhog Day, clean your brass, clean your ammo, work out, and I'm like, just get me home, just get me home. But yeah, we left in November, finally got home, and my military career just kind of, I didn't have it in me anymore after that. Does that make sense?
Makes sense.
Yeah, because I'm like...
Seems like that sort of crisis of conscience almost type of
for
thing
sure.
going on.
Yeah, exactly. And I'll talk about that too when we talk about policing too. But I'm like, man, I'm young. I'm only 20 now when I get home from Afghanistan. I turned 20 in Afghanistan. And I'm just kind of like, I don't know what to really believe. And I wish I had like my mentality now, because then I've just grown so much since I've gotten out of the military. But back then I was like, I don't know what to do. I feel kind of lost. I'm like, I want to go to Ranger school, and I still want to be a Green Beret. Maybe that would be better, because I didn't know it. My whole identity was to make the military a career. But after Afghanistan and just my experience over there and why we're still there, I don't know anymore. So I did go to Ranger school. This is 2013 now. And I was super hesitant to go because I'm still like, I don't know if I need to do this, but I want to because I wanted to be in the tier with the tier guys. And Ranger School is different. It's not RAS, but Ranger School is like the leadership course. But I wanted my tab before I went to selection for the Green Berets. So I got the Ranger School, and dude, I was mentally not there. You need to be mentally there. you're gonna be sucking the entire time, and you have like 61 or 62 days of suck. And day one, I'm already like, I don't want to be here. Like my head's shaved and all that. I'm back, and nobody knows your rank. You're there, and you're gonna be sucking. And the first day in, we went and did the PT test, and now back to before I went to Ranger School, you have to take the Ranger PT test like 5 different times. At least our unit wanted you to be prepared, ready to go. So I went past everything. I did that like 5 different times with the 5-mile run and all that. Dude, first day, push-ups, I am stuck at 46. They're like 46 Ranger, 46 Ranger, 46. And I'm like, my chest is hitting the dirt, like the freaking dirt right now. What's going on? Well, come to find out, it's a numbers game. I got recycled, and during my recycle, I'm not going to do this anymore. I left. So I literally went like one day at Ranger School, failed the push-ups. Come to find out, it was a numbers game. They already had their recruits in Ranger School. So it was, yeah. So I was like, well, there's something going on. This isn't for me. Something's not meant to happen. There's no reason like I shouldn't be able to do this and get through this. But again, I wasn't there. And it's just not working out. So I took that. I was like, all right, as a sign. And so the whole Green Beret thing didn't happen either. Never even went to selection. I was just checked out at this point, and I'm like, I'm getting out. And there's a lot of funny things that happen in the military. A lot of bullshit that you know about. So now at this point in my career, I'm 20 years old still, but I'm now getting out. So they put us in rear detachment because our unit's going to be deploying again. And so I'm in rear detachment with, I think it's Echo Company at the time, or headquarters company. And now we're getting stuck on details. Like, all your boys are getting ready to deploy. They're doing fun stuff. We're getting out of the military. So now you're just going to be kind of like the janitor in a sense. You're just cleaning up messes. And I remember one day we got stuck on staff duty, which is battalion headquarters. And this is where you go 24 hours of sitting at a desk. 24-hour detail. So you get up in the morning, went and did PT, and then you go to staff duty, and you sit there for 24 hours. So
no shifts or anything like that?
You're literally there for 24 hours. So me, my buddy Garcia, who was my roommate at the time, and then one of our squad leaders, we're just sitting there, read books, answer the phone, answer any questions that people come rolling in. And now 1 o'clock in the morning, you think you wouldn't need to be there, right? 2, 3, whatever. It should be closed. No, we're still there. So the morning comes, and God, our sergeant's like, hey, I got bad news. One of you guys has to go do a chow hall duty now. I'm like, we've been up for well over 24 hours, and now we have to go do chow hall duty to work the cashier register. Why'd you the short straw? This is legit. I had to go to chow hall and work the cashier register, and I'm the only guy working. And now there are cooks in the military. This is their area of expertise. I'm in the infantry and rear detachment, ready to get out of the military, but I'm doing their job. And the cooks are standing there, there's 2 of them looking at me. I'm like, are you guys gonna hop on the cashier register? There's one fucking thing open, there's a line out the door. No, we gotta verify that you're doing the right thing and you're not taking change or whatever. I'm like, I was pissed, dude. At this point, I mean, I would swear a lot at this point in my life. My swearing has definitely went away, but talking about this, I'm gonna cuss. I'm like, what the fuck do you mean?
Please do, yeah.
And I'm like, what the fuck do you mean? So at this point I said, hey, everybody with a fucking meal card, come on in. Just come on in. And meal carders for the single soldiers, they don't have BAH. They're not married. They're not living off post. They literally live in the barracks. They get a meal card, and you can just go to chow hall when the chow hall is open. And so I'm like, everybody with a meal card, come the fuck in and go ahead. And all these sergeants like, are you fucking kidding me? You're just gonna let them cut? I'm the only motherfucker in here working this cashier register. Meanwhile, I have 2 cooks standing right here and 3 other open cashier registers that can be used, but I'm the only guy. So where I was going with that is that there was just so much BS, and I'm like, I can do so much better with my life. The big Army sucks. I'm not making it to the tier 1 levels that I want to go, because for some reason it's not working. Whether that be the universe, God telling me that this isn't for you, it's time for you to get out. So I ended up getting out in 2014, and man, that was the best day of my life. Dude, that was seriously the best day of my life. It was, man, going to the final checkout, I'm expecting like a red carpet to be rolled out and like balloons and just fireworks to go off. Like, yes, but it's none of that happened. Like, oh, thank you for your service. See you later.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems like they're just like, okay.
See you later. Just another number. Yeah. So, yeah, got out in 2014, and then met with my wife. She actually flew to Denver. So, and she was staying with her relatives in Castle Rock, which is right outside Denver. So I went and picked her up, and then we just freaking drove home, man, and started our life. So
was that up here to Idaho, or is that back to Minnesota?
That was back to Minnesota. Yeah. So Idaho wasn't even on my radar. I knew nothing about Idaho except my buddy Smith that was in the Army with me, that he lived in Idaho somewhere. And that's all I knew. I knew nothing about the state. So yeah, we went back to Minnesota and started our lives up there. And I went right to the university. I was gonna be a firefighter at first, but my buddy's like, "Hey, you should come here and we should like look at being game wardens or something." I'm like, "Yeah, that'd be pretty cool," because I was really big. I've always been big into the outdoors and all that. I'm like, yeah, I guess the infantry really doesn't set you up for anything at all. Like, what job can you really do? Right. Unless you want to go be a contractor and do some contracting work overseas, but that wasn't on my radar at all. I'm just like, I want to get home. I want to be with my girlfriend at the time, now my wife. I just want to be with her and just start this journey. And again, I was 21 when I got out. I had no idea what was going on. My whole life was going to be the military, and now I'm like in this identity like crisis. Like, who am I going to be? What's my story look like? And yeah, so that's where I ended up back in Minnesota and went to school and ended up going to school for legal studies, because that's what they had at the university. And the only reason I went to this university is because my boys went there. I had nothing against the boys back home, but man, it was like I had this vision of me getting out of the military and going. Like I said, I wish I had my mentality now than I did back then. But 21 years, what do you know at 21? So you're still a kid. And I had this vision of going out and just exploring the world. I wanted to just pack up. I had this shopping cart on on the REI website of all the stuff I needed. And dude, I just got so focused on getting back home, and I push it off. And I'm like, the boys, I'm back here and with the boys again. It's like I never left, back after high school. And then so I went to the university and started that whole journey right there. And I still look back, I'm like, I don't have any regrets at all, but I wish I did take that opportunity to at least go over to Europe and just backpack like I wanted to for a couple months, just to like see it, but I guess they say everything happens for a reason, and sometimes I believe that, so yeah, I went to the university and went with legal studies, and being a cop was still not on the radar. I was game warden, right? But my buddy worked for Superior PD, which is right across from Duluth, Minnesota, where I grew up. And he's like, "Hey man, we got some job openings coming up for the police department. You should apply." And I said, "Damn, maybe I should. Like, maybe that might be a good way to get my foot in the door for being a game warden." So, oh gosh, I'm 22 at the time. I went for a ride along, and I was like, "Man, I could see myself doing this. This is pretty cool." Went to some cool calls and all that, some pretty cool traffic stops with some freaking drugs and whatnot. And I was like, yeah, this would be pretty fun. Definitely. I'm 22 years old. Yeah, let's freaking do this,
Seems like, this is reasonable.
Yeah, this is your life cool. And I get paid. And like, man, this is probably the best job for the infantry. It's fair. It's a parallel. Is that the right word? It's very uniform, or not uniform, but the jobs are similar in a way. Granted, you're not running around getting shot at all the time and whatnot. But so I applied, and then I think it was like a 6-month process. I got hired, and I'm still going to the university at the time. And then, so I got hired, and then the police academy was 720 hours long. So that was like all summer. It was all summer long. And when I got back, started FTO, and I was still going to school full time. I would do pretty much all online classes. And occasionally I'd have to do one in class, in person. But yeah, I did that. And so I'm 23 when I finally started policing. And a year and a half into the profession, I realized that I'm almost in an identity crisis again. Like, I realized that the job, like, man, this job is just so negative. So negative. It's so toxic. There's nothing positive about this job. The only positive thing that I got out of law enforcement, and I wouldn't even say it's a positive thing, it was the fun times. My favorite part was finding the actual dirtbags of society that were actually criminals, not this non-criminal, non-violent crime stuff like speeding. Like, are you kidding me? Speeding tickets? Like, the government already fucks you enough in taxes.
Yeah, right.
You know, like, I'm not going to go there and write speeding tickets and all that BS. So my main purpose, and I think a lot of cops are this way. There are a lot of good cops out there. There are a lot of dirtbag cops out there, any profession, right? But yeah, we love going after actual criminals, like guys with felony warrants that were scumbags that should just be in jail, just bad people. There's no rehabilitating them. And then the midnight coffees with the boys. Love just having coffee with the guys, sitting down and just taking in a breath and just laughing and our dark humor stuff that pops up. But yeah, so I worked at the PD for 2 years before I jumped ship over to the county sheriff's office. And now I'm 25 at the time when I jumped ship. And the only reason I did that is because I lived in the county. And I liked the idea of the deputy sheriff more than being stuck in a fishbowl of the city. And it was nice to have a take-home squad. So I really enjoyed the county and Douglas County in Wisconsin. It was so much fun, but it was also very boring. It was a place where you're really not going to grow in your profession because it's podunk, Wisconsin, and it's pretty much just a bunch of ag fields, rural areas, forest, small population in the county. So I got really bored. I put like 300 miles on sometimes at a night, just driving around, listening to podcasts, music, and then most of the time I was just dispatching deer that got hit. So, and now again, remember I didn't want to, about a year and a half in the profession, I'm like, I don't know if I can do this. So I was actually looking at jobs out in Washington because my buddy Marcus lived in Washington. He was a 2nd Ranger Battalion. And he'd post pictures, and I'm like, man, that looks super beautiful out there. So I was looking at jobs in Washington to be a cop, but at this time I didn't know anything else to do, right? All I knew is there's a pension at the end of this profession, and you're gonna get paid the rest of your life with that. And so, which is a common thing, and I think the first responder world in general is people get stuck on this whole pension idea. Like, dude, at 53, and this is a common topic when you're at the PD, is the old crusty guys, you're like, man, 2 more years, man, I'm just gonna keep working overtime because the top 3 years is what you average, and then you get to retire, and then that's what I'm gonna make, and yep, I'm gonna retire at 53, whatever. It's always retirement talk. Like, oh, I gotta keep working, I gotta keep making money because then I can retire at 53. So the pension thing becomes just a daily conversation, and then that's all you kind of get trapped in the pension trap. Like, man, yeah, I probably should just stick with this because I get that pension. Man, that pension, right? Chase that pension. And then the whole like, oh, you got your health care and all that stuff too. Can't forget about that health care. And I was just like, man, yeah, maybe this is all I can do. Be in the military and the infantry, no skills behind that. For the civilian sector, maybe copying is the rest of my life. And my grandfather was a cop, so I'm like, man, maybe I should just do this. So, yeah, I spent 4 years total in Wisconsin as a cop. Now, the way I got out to Idaho, and not a whole lot of fun things happened in that time frame. I was in my mid-20s, and all that was going on in my life was pretty much working overtime, and bachelor parties, because all my buddies were getting married. So there wasn't a whole lot of like growth, spiritual growth at this point in my life. I almost felt I was just very comfort. I was in a big comfort zone because I got paid every 2 weeks. You know, I lived on the county. I got stuck in this routine. I didn't feel like I was growing, and that was part of my thing too. Is like I felt like there's more for me out there. I'm like, man, I don't know if this is. I grew up here. I left for the military. I did all that stuff in the military. Got to see some really cool parts of the world, and now I'm back in my hometown, and I'm like, I don't know if this is me. And Michelle, we got married in 2019, and I started just talking to her, and she knew I was miserable in the job. And she's like, well, maybe let's just do something, right? So we went on vacation to Coeur d'Alene in 2019. My buddy went on vacation out there, and I hit him up, and I'm like, where are you? Like, I have no idea. I don't even know how to pronounce Coeur d'Alene at the time.
Right.
So where is this? He's like, oh, it's in North Idaho. You should check it out. So I started doing a bunch of research online. I was showing her videos, YouTube videos of Coeur d'Alene. She's like, let's go on vacation out there. So August of 2019, we went on vacation. And when I rolled up to Coeur d'Alene, I was like, man, I saw the lake. We were sitting outside. I'm like, I really like this place. It's super clean, just good energy here. I like it a lot. We should move here. And then we drove to Sandpoint the next day, and we came up across the corner where it opens up with the bridge and all that, and you see all that water and the big mountains. I'm like, I really, really like this area now. Like, we really need to move here. And then we drove over to Priest Lake, which is like northwest of Sandpoint. And we got up there, I'm like, all right, I fucking love this place, right? We're moving here. Michelle's like, yep, we're moving here. And like, and this song came on by like Lord Huron, I think is the name of the band. It's like To the Ends of the Earth. And like that hit, I'm like, all right, this feels good, right? So 6 months later, we ended up moving. And that was May of 20, we made the move. So that was right during that whole freaking pandemic, whatever you want to call it. I can say that, I know with you. So gas prices were super cheap coming over here with that U-Haul, so that was great. But yeah, we actually bought that house sight unseen. We saw pictures of it. Our real estate agent at the time took videos for us, and like, yeah, that's sweet. Put an offer on it, whatever. They accepted it. First day we saw it was the day of closing when we rolled up. And I was like, this is awesome. Like, this is legit. So now I'm starting my new career here in Idaho. I was working for the sheriff's office here in Kootenai County. And man, what a different world. It was very professional. I'm not used to that. Like, where I came from was Podunk, Wisconsin. It was professional, but it was also very super chill in a sense, and almost very too relaxed. So I came to this profession, like, we're having briefings every day, and there's like Class A days and all this stuff. I'm like, damn, like, this place is all right. I like it. That's cool. Well, about a year into the profession here, I was like, dude, I don't think it matters where you go. This profession is not for me. And you know what? I come to realize at this time, I'm 28 years old, and I'm like kind of waking up a little bit and seeing things for what they are, and just growing more into myself. And I'm like, this job isn't for me. I don't agree with like half the laws. I'm way too chill as a cop. And that might be a good thing. Maybe we need more chill cops out there. I remember this lady, she's like, you need to sit over there. You get so many speeding tickets. And this is what I said. I said, ma'am, I don't write speeding tickets. I don't. I said, the government already jacks us up enough with taxes. You don't need me out here messing with people and writing them tickets that are probably $150 more. That's going to fuck with them. With anybody. Where's that money going? What are they learning? Nothing. I said, if they're going too fast, I throw my lights on real quick and I shut them off and they get it. My little visual warning. But I'm like, no, that's not me. Like, in the job, like I said, it was just so toxic, and it really just, and I didn't touch on this, but there's a lot of trauma in that profession too. And like, I saw some stuff in Afghanistan that'll be with me the rest of my life. But man, I swear I saw more shit as a cop. And what I mean by that is just like the amount of suicides is just, I don't want to see that. Nobody should have to see that stuff. And I had a 16-year-old girl out here commit suicide, I think like a year into my career here in Kootenai, and it was with a train. And I'm like, yeah, that one, the parents were there, and it's like, yeah, it fucked me. It really did. I was like, I can't do this job anymore. This isn't worth it. And I was so, at this time in my career, I'm going on 6 years almost. I'm like, I'm so tired of not only my body, but my mental state with this profession, and feeling the way I am, and always so angry because I'm like, I have to go back to that job. I have to go back there. On my days off, there was no relaxing. It was just stressed out about going back to work, because you never know what's going to happen. You never know what's going to happen on shift. And I've said this to friends before. I said, I swear, and I just said it, but I've seen more stuff as a cop than I did in Afghanistan. Like, at least in Afghanistan, you are in the mindset of, I can be attacked at any moment. Like, you're mentally there, you're prepared for battle. But as a cop, it's like, how do you prepare for that? Because you're at one moment you could be driving down the highway and you see somebody with a flat tire and you help put your lights on and go out there and help them and everything's chill. And then the next minute you're going to a freaking domestic with possible firearms involved. And so your cortisol level's going up. And then you handle that situation and then it's done. And then it's like, all right, now I got to go to a 16-year-old commit suicide of the train. It's like up and down, up and down. Every day you don't know what's going to happen, right? And so I was just super tired. I was just tired of feeling like that. And so towards the end of my career, I was in law enforcement for 6 total years, but towards the end of my time in Kootenai County, I was so upset. I started out in law enforcement with a long wet fuse. And then by the time I got out, it was a very short dry fuse. I wasn't there. I mentally, I wasn't there anymore. Like I'm not saying unstable, but my emotions would get the best of me. And sometimes I would cuss people out. And rightfully, these people, when I did it, it was the right people. That I've been waiting for this moment because you're a fucking turd. Fuck you. Like, should I have said that? No, absolutely not. Very unprofessional, but it felt so good. I'm like, fuck, man.
Sometimes it just feels right.
It felt so right. I'm like, God, they need to hear this right now. And, oh, gosh, it felt good. But, yeah, I got out, and I finally took so how it worked out is one of my best friends from the Army, Josh Temple down in North Georgia, him and I were just tight from day one when I met him. He's pretty much like my soul brother in a sense, and just so similar. And I reached out to him, like, dude, I'm struggling, man. Like, I have no idea what to do myself. I'm sitting in my squad car, and I'm just like, I'm so lost. I cannot do this profession anymore, but I don't know what to do. I have no idea where to go with my life. I didn't want to leave Idaho. I loved Idaho. And I was like, dude, you should look into real estate, man. He said, you probably would really enjoy it. I know a lot of people that were former first responders and cops that would go into the real estate profession and do very well at it. I said, fuck, what the hell? That was never on my radar, real estate, and the only thing I knew about real estate is I had my neighbor growing up in my childhood house. The neighbor down the street at the end of the block was a real estate agent. That's all I knew. I didn't know anything else about it. Besides, and then the lady that sold our house and all that. But I'm like, all right, I'll look into it. So I started doing research and all that. I'm like, it's kind of like your own boss, entrepreneurship. And yeah, I could probably see myself doing it. I saw some stories of some cops doing that. I'm like, yeah, this would be fun. My own boss and don't have to answer to anybody and just do my own thing. And granted, it's going to be hard starting out because you got to, people need to know who you are. People only work with people they know, like, and trust. So I'm like, all right, well, it's funny. So, Seth. So how this all ended up, like, the universe feeling like that line. Excuse me, I'll take a drink real quick. So this is before I got out of the military, or before out of law enforcement. I know I've been bouncing around a lot, but so this is, probably 3 months before I got out. We had the Guns versus Hoses hockey game, and I was on the Guns team. And I went down to the hockey arena to get my skates sharpened. And I get down there and I'm just chilling, and the guy sharpened my skates. Well, these two big guys come up and they start fucking with me. They're like, why do you look so fucking angry? I said,
Don't even know him?
I don't even know him. I said, I'm sorry, I don't know who you are. I'm like, I'm just getting my skates sharpened. And they're like, oh, we're just messing with you, dude. We're just trying to figure out if you're a cop or a firefighter for the game. I said, oh, I'm a cop, but I'm actually getting out. And they're like, what? I'm like, what are you going to do? I said, well, I start real estate school in 2 weeks. I'm like, no way. They're like, we're actually both a former firefighter and former cop, and we're both in real estate. So that's how I met Seth. And I'm like, all right, this is lining up really cool. So I ended up kind of just became friends with Seth. And now I'm working with Seth. So at that point in my life, all right, I think this is lining up right. Like, this feels good. The universe feels like this feels really good to make this step. So back to law enforcement, I'm getting out now. My leaders knew I was getting out. They knew I was doing real estate school, and when they called me the day of, like, how'd your test go? I said, it went good. I passed everything. I'm good to go. I'm like, oh, sweet. So we'll see you tomorrow at briefing? I'm like, yep. So I show up to briefing, and I had my 2-week notice. Bro, they literally told me I could just leave that day. Like, yeah, you're pretty much you're good. Yeah, like, yeah, we don't need you. You're good to go. And there was some stuff about that, and they pretty much said you're unfit for duty because of I didn't talk about this, but during real estate school, I was off one day. I got home early, and I'm throwing my dogs the ball out front of the house. Well, my neighbor walks by, and I don't like this guy. He's like 10 houses down. He's not even my neighbor. He's like way down there. But he walks by, and the dogs are sitting there with their toys in their mouth, and they're right next to him. And they're like, "You gonna apologize?" I said, "Apologize for what?" He said, "You're vicious dogs." I'm like, "Tell me how the dogs are vicious right now." One, you're in front of their house, and I'm here with my dogs. Tell me how they're vicious. Well, they're standing next to me. Like, you're in front of their house. I'm right here. And maybe they want to say hi, but they have their toys in their mouth. So he ended up going on a tangent saying like, well, I'd hate for you to see you get sued and all this stuff because your dogs are off leash. And I'm like, I'm right in front of my house. You're walking in front of my house. And I said, you're that fucking kind of guy that was immediately going to go into a freaking legal, being sued. I said, you're a fucking dick. That's what I said. I call him, you're a fucking dick. He said, you're a fucking, he didn't say fucking. He said, you know what, you're just a punk. I said, get the fuck out of here. I said, get the fuck out of here. So this is another reason why they told me, like, you're unfit for duty, because so the next day I get a call when I'm at real estate school. I'm on lunch break. I get a call. I'm like, yeah, what's going on, Sarge? He's like, hey, did you get in a confrontation with your neighbor yesterday? And I said, yeah, I called him a fucking dick. He said, yeah, that's what he said. So, he wants, like, you to come over and apologize and maybe do some mediation, and maybe you could bring the dogs over there and let him throw, let him throw the ball to the dogs. So I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that. The guy's just a prick. That's it. Can he not be told off by an off-duty cop, just a person? I don't care if I'm a cop or whatever. Even if I wasn't off-duty, whatever. Maybe even on duty, I probably call him a fucking dick at the time. But either way, I was off-duty, and the guy's being a prick. I'm like, just go away. And the fact that he tattletaled on me is freaking hilarious. So
seems very telling.
About him, yeah. Come to find out, he's a teacher in the area and a former Air Force guy. Yeah, fucking Air Force. Nothing against you. No, but I'm like, what the heck? So when I went to briefing, they're like, yeah, man, you're kind of you're getting out anyways, and that whole thing with your neighbor. And I'm like, really? I'm like, well, you represent the sheriff's office. And I'm like, I get that. But can a guy just not be a human and express his First Amendment rights in a sense? But anyways, like I said, I had a short fuse at the time, and I was just super angry. And then that happened. I'm like, dude, come on, man. Like, give me a break. I'm in my front of my yard with my dogs. They have their toys in their mouth. They're the friendliest little girls ever. But whatever. So that was my last day. And so I always tell my friends the story when they ask how I got out. And this is the first time telling it in a long time. But like when you see people leave a job, like with their box, their cardboard box, all their stuff, they're leaving. Well, I actually had to show up with my cardboard box and bring it in to the sheriff's office. So I was walking in with it and had to give them all my stuff and all that, and then they gave me a ride home. So, yeah, it was a weird way to end my career. I thought I was going to end like my last day on duty, rolling up to the sheriff's office. But man, that's it. That's my career. It's all done. Well, no, that's how it ended. Yeah, and then I went straight into real estate and learned some stuff there right away, and with being on the wrong team and all that. But yeah, that's where I'm at now, man. Just that's how I kind of got to where I'm at. And real estate's been really fun. I love the team I'm on. I've been on with them for almost a year now, and I've been doing it for 3 years. And I guess just probably talk about the archery shop too. That's a huge freaking time gap that we just missed. But so I got out, went into real estate full time, and then I had a buddy who I met at the sheriff's office, and we both really loved archery. And we came up with this idea of starting an archery pro shop in the community because there was none. And this is a pretty vulnerable subject for me. I really didn't want to bring it up, but I'll bring it up because this is very recent what has happened. So I get my real estate license. I'm doing real estate with a different team in town for a little bit. And then North Idaho Archery finally happens because I'm like, all right, I'm in real estate. I found this cool spot. I can write us an offer to get into this building for a lease and all that. And I'm like, this feels right. So we got into the shop. And my buddy Austin moved out here who was a cop with me back in Wisconsin. I told him about this archery shop idea. He's like, dude, like, I'm going to sell my house and my family are going to move out west. I want to be a part of this. I'm like, hell yeah, bro, I'd love to have you. Because he was working at a pro shop when he wasn't doing cop work. So he moved out here, and now he really sparked a fire under our butts to get us going on this archery shop. Because I'm doing real estate full time. Jake at the time is doing cop work still. And Austin gets out here. He's like, dude, what are we doing? Like, let's get this archery shop up and running. Let's find a spot. So I'm like, all right, let's do this. So we found a spot. We got in there. Real estate is now on hold because the archery shop is going to be happening. And Jake and I went down to Arizona. We got archery bow technician certified, instructor certified. So we all did this while we were both copping at the time. This is right before I got out of real estate. Sorry, I'm bouncing around, but so now I'm in real estate. Jake's still copping. We have this certifications to be archery instructors and bow technicians because we went to the school and all that. Austin's in town now, and he's like, bro, he's like, I'm not going back into cop work. Like, let's do this. So we got the stuff. Real estate's on hold now. We get the archery shop open in May of 2023. So going on 2 years ago. And that was fun, man. Like, we were in there and we were going to all these events, met the Black Rifle guys over in Kalispell, just a network, right? And met Josh from Montana Knife Company, just getting out there. And archery shop was doing good, man. We had some good bow lineups in there. We were doing all this arrow builds and that. It was fun. We had all the retail stuff, all the top of line products, and it was going great. And real estate, again, was on hold. I've just been going through this, and my wife and I funded the project for North Idaho Archery, and we're like, yeah, let's just freaking do this. Let's go out there, have fun. And things started getting weird at the end of last year. So again, the 3 partners, right? So I'm not going to go into many details, but I'll just say that Austin and I just left a month ago, and just because the partnership wasn't working. So, and I really enjoy the real estate side of things, and that's just growing. And Austin and I are pretty much like, if one goes, I'm going, right? So, yeah, we sold the business to our other business partner, and it sucks the way it ended. It really does. But it's still in the community, which is good, because we started the whole pro shop for the community. And it was a way for us to do something we really enjoyed, because we're all passionate archery hunters and love being in the woods. But yeah, it really sucked because that was our baby, and Austin moved out west to do this with me, and then the partnership just really went downhill really quick. Just the integrity of the business and all that wasn't kind of where we needed to be. So yeah, we sold that, and it sucked. It was like a bad divorce, the way it ended. But it's over and done with now, and here's just moving forward, man. Yeah. So, yeah, now this is where we're at, and just having fun. Just having fun with life. And I feel like I've just grown up a lot over the course of since getting out of the military. You know, I'm a completely different person than I was when I was back in copping. You know, I just feel all I crave is just finding peace in life now, and that's really it. I just want to go out, explore the world, meet new people, see new things, and I don't need to make a lot of money. Like, my rich in life is just freedom now. That's my biggest thing. I want freedom. I want to be able to do things, just be in the wilderness, be on a river, whatever it might be. Traveling the world, going to Ireland, having a Guinness with the Irish. Freaking love that. You know? So, yeah, my biggest thing in life now is just finding peace, and all that negativity, whether that was the military, policing world, the archery shop, which is just that whole entrepreneur side. It was just a negative part of my life and Austin's life, and it's over and done with, man, and just continue to move forward and just living. Yeah. Yeah.
You know, it seems interesting too, because now you mentioned, you know, you've done all these intense things in the past, you know, risking your life for multiple years, you know, military and actually being in combat and policing and all that. And then now your biggest thing is like peace.
I know.
And freedom and, you know, relaxation.
Yeah.
You know, not relaxation, you know, necessarily, but having that ability.
Yeah.
So it's almost like you've hit like you're able to hit more ends of the spectrum, because if you take things more on the intense side, more to the extreme, you know, if you will, it's almost like once you're able to sort of let yourself go to the other side, it's like such a relief.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly. And then it's weird, like I'll be 33 in October, and like I said, just where I'm at now, like spiritually, mentally, I don't care about that stuff anymore. I don't want to be a part of it. I really don't. Like I'd rather just be zen all the time. And if there's a time and place where I need to, if that needs to happen, not saying it's going to happen, I don't like to think that way. But if I have to go back to my old ways to, you know, get back on a gun and all that, rock it, I'll do that. And I'm not saying I don't go to the range. I'll still go to the range from time to time with the guys, just to keep up on shooting and all that. But I really don't care for it anymore. I really don't. It's weird. I love my time in the wilderness with my bow or my rifle. There's a time and place for both different tools. But I don't care to be in the violence and having that. I don't like to think that way either. Like I gotta constantly be ready for the world to end and be out there. And I don't like to think that way. And that it is what it is. Some people might call that weird and all that, but I just want to be chill and just be at peace. That's really it. I really crave that. And it's like fly fishing is a really big part of my life now. It's so therapeutic just being on the river. And I grew up on the rivers back in Minnesota and Wisconsin area. I go kayaking and canoeing the rivers all the time. And maybe that's where I fell in love with the rivers, because my dad and mom took us, my sister and I, in the rivers at a young age. And we just spent a lot of our summers out there. But man, I really just enjoy my time alone or with my dogs and my wife, just chilling on the river and casting a fly in the water, and just being there, and just the peace of the river flowing. I love that stuff. But like I said, I'll still go out and shoot and all that if I need to, but it doesn't happen a lot at all besides hunting season. So yeah, but yeah, it's cool, man. It's been a really cool journey, just to see where I've come, you know, from a young kid to a young adult now, and how much I've done. I guess I can talk about that too. Is just like there's a time and place where I was in a very dark place too in law enforcement, an extremely dark place, because of my identity crisis. I didn't know what else to do, and I just felt trapped, and I felt like a loser because I didn't make it into the Rangers, I didn't make it to the Green Berets, and I'm like, fuck, here I am as a cop, and I'm like, I'm on the SWAT team. Cool, fucking. SWAT team, it's not as cool as you think. It's not full-time SWAT. We're in like LA or something, you know. You're in Podunkville and you're on call, and a lot of things don't happen. And I was just in a really bad place in my mind, and yeah, I didn't like being there. So I'm like, now everything's just all about peace and just the freedom and just continuing to grow spiritually. And I love it, man. Like I've never been so happy in my life. And you know, and I've dabbled in the old THC now. Yeah, and it's so funny because when I was I'm being vulnerable as can be. That's all right. But yeah, when I was a cop and all that, I was like, man, growing up, like, no, I'll never touch that stuff. I'm like, man, now I'm nice and edible every now and then. Puts me in a really clear state. And I call it my Zen the fuck out session. And so usually every night in the wintertime, I'll have a nice hot bath. And I'll throw Epsom salts in there, and I have a candle with like some Japanese garden music on. Lately, it's been Enya. I don't know if you know who Enya is. You know, it's super fun. People make fun of me, like, bro, you're like so hardcore. Like, you go into the backcountry and spend weeks in the backcountry hunting deer and all that, and elk, but you're also like super. I don't know what you call that, but like, I don't know, but whatever you call it. But I'm like, man, I like my peace, and my Zen the fuck out session is for me and my time to just. Not only like try to meditate, but just chill. And I love it because that music and me, and then if I do an edible at nighttime, man, it puts me in a really good spot. I just feel so relaxed and at peace, and just kind of like solve some cool things. And it's been really cool. But guys make fun of me all the time. Like, bro, you're freaking hilarious. Like, you don't look like you're this dude that goes out to the backcountry and freaking survival mode, right? You just look, it's so funny. But yeah, it's so that's my Zen the fuck out session. Every night, usually in the wintertime. Summertime, no, it's just too hot. I don't need my hot baths. But yeah. But yeah, the backcountry, man, that's one thing. Have you been backcountry hunting?
Haven't actually been hunting yet.
Not
but
yet?
Definitely got to get that going, yeah.
It's fun, and man, I tell you what, I grew up whitetail hunting and sitting in a deer stand, and man, it was fun when I was there, but I'm like, well, now that I got the itch or the experience of actually Western big game hunting and being out there and actually moving, like this feels like real hunting where you actually have to spot them and then you got to stalk in on them to make a shot. Like, that's real hunting to me. Like, I can't look back. Like, so the past 2 years now, we've gone into the Frank Church Wilderness. This is in central Idaho, and the really only way you can access it is by flying in a bush plane or rafting in or horsebacking in. You can hike in, but it's gonna take you forever. So the last 2 years, we've flown in to the backcountry of the Frank Church Wilderness, and man, we've spent the first year out there for 2 weeks chasing bighorn sheep. And then last year we went out there for 8 days to chase mule deer. And dude, it's so special because I like to do at least like one hard thing a year. And again, remember, I'm all about, I just want to chill, have fun, work hard and all that, but I just want to be like peace of mind and all that. But I like to do something hard every year, it's good to do that, right? So when you're out in the backcountry, it's straight survival mode, because once you're dropped off, that plane ain't coming to get you until it's day 8, right? So you're out there, you have to have fires, you got to stay warm, you got to keep your stuff dry, and when you shoot something, you got to pack it out, and that can take a lot of time. It's hard, it's so fun, and I just feel so alive when I'm out there, because you're with the guys, and it's just like the best backpacking, like camping trip ever, because you're out there, you're camping, you're hanging out, and you're just sucking for a week. So like this year was super fun, and we flew in, and man, it was an absolute grind. It was so much fun. But one day we had this awesome hunt. Austin was able to successfully tag out on this mule deer. It took us 3.5 hours to get back to camp, and we got the whole deer out on our backs and quartered up, I should say. And man, when we got back, I was like, never hurt. My feet hurt so bad. It was awesome. But the next morning, we it sucked, man. Like, Austin took that shot. It took us about 4 hours to get to this ridge where he saw them the day prior. And so we got up there, and Austin's eating ramen, and I'm glassing. I see this buck. I'm like, that's a good buck. I didn't know if it was Austin's buck that he glassed up, so I sprint over to Austin, and he's got ramen in his mouth. And I'm like, Brock, let's go, grab your gun. And I grabbed my gun because I didn't know if it was his buck or if it was going to be my buck. And since I spotted it, so Austin's looking at it, he's like, dude, that's the buck. And he shows me a picture. I'm like, dude, it's all yours, man. So, oh, shoot, I'm sorry about that. Will it still work? Will that pick up?
Yeah. You know how long it runs?
I don't know. Probably, hopefully not.
What
long.
is it?
I have no idea. Sorry, everybody.
That's all right. It might be a little noisy if we...
Little generator.
Compressor?
Yeah. Oh,
There we
perfect.
go.
Thank God. All right.
Just topping her off, huh?
Cool. So yeah, Austin shot that thing at 450 yards. And it was a 600-foot drop in elevation. And it was a snowstorm coming in that day too. We didn't bring our yak tracks. We didn't bring anything. It took us an hour to climb 600 feet out, and then freaking 3.5 hours to walk back. It sucked. But the next morning was so awesome because we're sitting around the fire, and we walked over to a natural hot spring. And just sat on the river in this natural hot spring. It's like 105 degrees probably. It's hot. And it was just like, man, this is freaking epic. Like, we did all that hard stuff yesterday, tagged you out. Now we're gonna sit here for the morning, and then we went out and shot me a deer. It was so fun. It was just like, man, it's special. So yeah, we really look forward to doing, that's the nice thing about hunting in general out west. It's difficult. And it's hard, but the whole experience, just going to elk camp or deer camp with the fellas and spending time in the woods and sucking and just like, man, this is awesome. Well, Michelle gets mad at me because sometimes I don't come home with elk. She's like, well, you're out there for a week and no meat. I'm like, no, but I'll get it. I'll get it deer, you know. But yeah, man, it's been so much fun being out west. It really has. Like, I haven't looked back. I've just felt like I've grown so much out here and meeting new people, and then just more researching, going down rabbit holes with a lot of things. I just feel like I've just grown, man. Yeah, it's been really cool. Yeah, so it's a little bit about me.
Yeah. Right on.
Yeah.
You know, it's interesting, and you know, this is part of the reason why I wanted to talk to you about this too. Is it's like, you know, a lot of guys more so, of course, inevitably, you know, with military background, you know, law enforcement, violent sports and whatnot.
Yeah.
You know, it's interesting to hear, and you know, Joe Rogan, I think, is one of those guys who said that typically, you know, jiu-jitsu guys are like the calmest guys out there, and I think it's like it's a mentality that transfers through, you know, MMA, military, police, and whatnot, to where it's like you just pick the route that makes sense for you, but it's a mentality that you want to put to work in those spaces. I don't know whether you want to call it intensity or, you know, taking things to the extreme at times, but again, it's like a bandwidth. It's sort of like a scale. Like, you can't live there forever, but it's nice to go there and experience what that's like on occasion. You know, when you go into the woods, it's like, you don't know if you're going to run into a bear, a mountain lion, that can shred you to pieces or whatever. So
yeah, no, well said. Yeah, it's I did jiu-jitsu for about a year, and I did enjoy it. But man, I jacked my knee up really bad, really bad. It was like limping for about 6 months.
Oh, man.
And I know it's part of the journey of getting injured in that martial art. But man, I was just like, I have a lot of other hobbies that I really enjoy, and I don't know if I love this jiu-jitsu enough to continue to do this. And a lot of guys call me pussy, whatever, for not going back. But I'm like, you know what? I enjoyed it, but it's not, I don't enjoy it that much to continue to do it. Like, I love hockey. I play hockey every week. And I come the summertime, I'm always out in the backcountry, hiking around, doing whatever, you know, and I love working out. I do that Mountain Tough. They're out of Bozeman. I do that every morning, and it's just, I like that. I like that type of workout. So, but yeah, that jiu-jitsu stuff's pretty cool, but it's not me.
Yeah, it does seem, you know, there's people always get ankles or elbows, shoulders, joints or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, those are easy targets.
Definitely, man, I freaking hate the legs. When they go out to the legs, like, oh gosh. Especially on tall guys. Tall guys, like, guys can get those real quick.
It seems too, like all the other stuff you do, hockey, hunting, all, it's like you're knocking all that stuff out if you hurt yourself doing jiu-jitsu.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's man, it's been cool to look back where everything has started out to who I was back then to where I'm now, and I'm excited to see how I grow over the next 10 years and what my 40s look like. You know, so it's been awesome. Yeah. And I tell people that, like, on my Instagram now, with real estate, I'm just trying to grow my Instagram more, and my whole audience is just going to be like veterans and first responders, because if you can target, because most of your non-followers or most of your followers they see your stuff, but a lot of the reels they generate, I guess, are seen by non-followers. And I really want people to know, and I tell this to cops anytime I meet them, because a lot of times guys are like, yeah, I just don't know what else to do. I'm like, there's so much more you can do out there. There's always a way out. You just need to talk with your spouse, talk with your wife, talk with your husband, whatever, and know that you just got to come up with a game plan. It was really difficult. Michelle and I, like, luckily I have the VA to help out with some stuff, but you just got to come up with a game plan. And if it's something that you know you need to get out of the profession, like, there's always a way. You just gotta do some soul searching. There's always a way to get out with any industry.
Any industry, yeah. That seems like a great point. And it's like, by all means, if you're in that position, it seems like you would say the same thing.
Yeah.
It's like, just reach out and ask people.
Definitely.
Hey, man, you're doing something different. I know you've done this in the past. It's like, we would all love, you know, for anybody to ask us, like, hey, who do you know in this or that sphere, you know, whatever it is. It's like, use the network for what it's there for, you know?
Yep. No, it's I would love to see all my friends get out of law enforcement. I tell them all the time, like, dude, like, you've done it long enough, man. Like, they're miserable. A lot of times, like, dude, it's just like, yeah, man, I don't know what else to do. It's the same thing. It's like I don't know what else to do, man. Like, but this provides for my family. I said, I understand it, but you're miserable. Like, and that's going to affect your home life too. You know, you might be able to fake it, but how long can you fake that for? It's like, find something that you're passionate about, and if that's something you want to pursue, then do it. You know, I understand, again, it's the money thing. It's the being comfortable, like, oh, I'm going to get this paycheck every freaking 2 weeks. I'm going to get it in the rest of my life. I got this money coming in, but you're miserable. And how's that going to affect your mental health going down the road? Because it's a stat in law enforcement. It might be the same for firefighters too, and maybe paramedics, but I think it's like you average 5 years after retirement before you freaking croak. There's a guy at the sheriff's office. He made it 6 months, and then died, had a heart attack. And again, who knows how fucked up my hormones are from the military and policing, the constant, working graveyard shifts, right? And then the cortisol spikes up and down. It's like, who knows what I've done to I know what my test levels are, and I wish I didn't know my test levels. I wish I was in a fucking thing. I wish these numbers, we didn't know about them, because now I get fixed. I feel fine. I feel good. But then you go get your blood work done from the VA, and like, oh, you actually have, your test is like a 60-year-old. And I'm like, I feel good, but now I'm focused on this fucking number, But where I was going with this is like, after you make it to 53, but who knows how jacked up your body is at that age. Like, luckily, I'm only 32. I'd have to go another 21 years or whatever. Is that the right math? To get to 53? Like, who knows how bad I would be, where my life would be in 21 years from now if I stayed in law enforcement. Probably not good. Probably not good at all. Luckily, I can fix some things now and really get into just eating good, because you eat like shit as a cop, because you're working graveyards. Oh, you get a coffee or a freaking, when Bangs came out back in whatever year that was, 2016. Oh my gosh, dude. I didn't know anything about ingredients. I was just doing whatever. I'm young. I'm like, no, I'm going to slam these Bang energy drinks all night. Dude, how stupid. God, now it's like, now I'm to the point like when I go to the grocery store, I'm like, all right, ingredients, coconut water. If it has anything else besides coconut, I'm like, no, I'm not drinking that shit. I'm like, it should just be coconut. So why is there natural colors and all this other natural flavors or whatever? I'm like, no. So, but gosh, man, like I'm just super, like I said, I wish all my friends could get out of that profession. And I hope they do. I know 3 of them got out now, or 2 of them got it out now.
It seems like a great point too, talking about looking at, eating healthy food and drinking healthy fluids and stuff like that. That just seems to be a thing that plugs into, I guess, like what we're into these days.
For sure.
It's like, if you're not actually feeding your body properly, it's like, what output do you actually expect to get out of it?
Yeah, exactly. And the whole, not only the food, and the drinking, and then obviously sauna therapy, cold therapy, but your mindset, right? I think I've been going down that. I've been looking more into like your mindset and how that can affect your reality lately, and that's super interesting, because it's like, how it is. You can easily feel negative energy. When it happened at the bow shop. I had a buddy come in, and he's like, bro, like it felt weird in there. I'm like, yeah, there's negative energy because people were fucking pissed at each other. You could just feel it. And now it's like, when you have negative thoughts, usually that's all that starts consuming you, and just creating such a negative mindset all over the place, and shit happens. Like now it's like you're creating that negative reality to happen. Like, oh, you're manifesting almost negative things to happen. Like, oh, this is gonna fucking suck. Like, fuck today. Shit's just gonna get worse and worse. And then it just feeds off and feeds off, right? But now if you really just if you do daily gratitude, and I when I first heard this whole daily gratitude thing, I'm like, that is so stupid. But really having good self-talk is such a powerful thing. It really is. And like I said, you might think that's so cliche, this whole gratitude thing. Cold plunge and all. You're just like everybody else. I'm like, no, there's some shit there. The whole daily gratitude, do I do it every day? No. But I'm working on it. Because I have always had such a negative self-talk with myself. I've already stated back in the military, my identity crisis, I didn't know, like, fuck me, I have nothing else to fucking do. Negative self-talk constantly, and it just makes everything miserable. It just feeds into everything else of your life. But if you actually sit there and be like, man, no, I'm worthy. Like, I am a great person. Whatever things that you can just constantly, like, your brain doesn't know any different, right? So if you bring positive outlook into your life and constantly have an optimistic like look on things, I think you can create your own reality into lead you somewhere really cool, right? It's it's cool, man. There's a lot of cool things out there. Yeah, we could go down a lot of rabbit holes. Yeah, but no, it's powerful. It really is. And then if you have a supportive, like Michelle, man, she's been through with me since high school. Like she's just, I swear that woman she's made me who I am today, and that's such a great thing. Like she's been my rock, and she's always been so supportive and tells me how it is. Like, you are so fucking miserable, John. You need to figure it out. Like, and I'm like, damn, I needed that. Sometimes like she's like, you're being a little bitch right now. I'm like, I do need that. And then that's just how we call that my love language or whatever. But that's how it's been. Like in the military, it's like you just need to hear it. Like I want a buddy. If I'm making a mistake or something, just tell me. Don't dabble around. Just tell me what it is. I'm like, yeah, dude. Yeah, I'll fix that. But it's so funny to who I've come today. It's just from everything from, if I didn't have her, man, like the whole ingredient stuff and changing out all the stuff in our life, I don't know who I'd be like if I didn't have her, which brings me up on some funny other topics that lady has introduced me to. But yeah, it's like reality, it's freaking awesome, man. But yeah, it's good stuff.
Yeah, right on, man.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like we could have another episode about who knows what.
Whatever.
At some point. Yeah.
Exactly. We could definitely go down we could go down starting from the very tip with 2001. Actually, you could go past that, but we could, in my lifetime, 2001, 9/11 is just the freaking top. Like that's just the surface. Like that's where. Yeah, that's where it all starts from. I know people can talk about like World War II and all that other stuff, but man, like we could go down, start from 9/11, going all the way to whatever, and we could hit it. Because I have such an open mind now too. Man, I swear, like people call me like, oh, you're always like such against everything. I'm like, no, I just have an open mind. If you bring a topic to me, I'm gonna research it. I am. I'm gonna look into it and like, oh, that's an interesting theory. It's like, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you have an open mind on a lot of things? Why just continue to listen to whatever the freaking media pushes out?
They're full to be scared of.
Yeah.
You're just considering, hey, is that real or is it not?
Exactly. Yeah. We all, after 2020, I swear a lot of people have woken up. And like once you're awake and see things for what they are, man, it's like, fuck, game on. Let's look at a lot of things now.
Seems like it requires, humility, and maybe there's fear involved, like, oh shit, maybe what I believed before is not true. Like where, it's maybe you even feel like you're falling off the deep end for some people, or whatever it is. Like, where's the bottom on this thing,
Definitely.
Sort of like you could lose your sense of identity if you jump too far into something.
Yeah, because everything you've been told could be fucking maybe a lie. Everything you know. Seriously.
See, these are some of the great topics that former, like veterans and former law enforcement and stuff like that are getting into these days.
Yeah.
And, it's funny when we sent something like that a little while ago and you're like, dude, I love all this stuff. Like, hit me with all of it.
Exactly. Send it all my way. Oh my gosh. It is so funny. It is so cool. It gets your brain working away too. It's like, man, that's so. You just want to keep looking into it and look more and more and more and more. But people are like, oh, you conspiracy theorists. I'm like, man, no, a lot of that shit has ended up being very kind of like true though. The stuff that we believed in, So it's cool. Yeah.
And if I may, I would say it's about fucking time that people out there are like, hey, look, I'm not going to be afraid to entertain ideas and have some. Of course, it's person to person, case to case, whatever you feel is appropriate to, I guess, let out publicly or whatever. But it's like, I don't know, this like idea that we need to like keep things like, oh, hush, hush, like don't say this around too many people or whatever. It's like, hey, the truth hurts. Yeah. Or if even just discussing ideas can hurt for people.
Bro, yeah. Sometimes you bring up an idea, like a theory. People fucking lose their shit. And I'm like, why are you getting mad?
Yeah, it's not emotional. Who gives a shit?
Why are you getting mad? Like, don't get mad. Just like, just, you know, if anything, I was in your position at one point, but just like look into it. But you don't need to get mad at me for discussing a theory. Right. There's nothing to get mad about here. It's like, just do some research yourself. Like, just have an open mind. It's fun.
It is fun. And it seems very telling when somebody gets mad just about an alternative idea.
Exactly.
Just to say, what about this? Yeah. It's like, I don't know. Maybe sharks walk
Yeah.
when nobody's looking.
Right, you
like,
don't know.
I don't care. Maybe they do.
Maybe they fucking do. I don't care. You know? Exactly. Good. I like that. Yeah, we don't know.
Yeah, right.
Exactly. Oh gosh, it's so funny, man. I love that shit. Oh my gosh, it's so funny. Yeah, we could totally spend freaking hours going down that rabbit hole.
Sounds like a funny edible conversation.
Oh my gosh, that would be incredible. Oh my gosh. My buddy and I did that. Austin and I did that 2 years ago. Yeah, it was 2 years ago when Black Rifle opened up. We stopped over there and we had an Airbnb with our wives, and we took one that night. Oh my God, it was so funny. I don't know why the giggles lasted so long. I don't know how long that time just seems to go. You ever brush your teeth fucking stoned? It's so it's like, how long have I been doing this for? Oh man. Oh, it's so funny. And a lot of guys that, oh dude, the whole THC thing is so funny too. It really is. It's like, to me, it is. Some people get so offensive over it. But I'm like, man, I'd rather be stoned and just having a good time than be fucking hammered and, you know, be fucking shit-faced.
That's a great point.
Yeah, all day. It's like, I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm just at home chilling, doing my thing, listening to my Enya music, whatever, man. You know? But man, we all knows what people can do when they're freaking shit-faced. And so, so.
Yeah, it seems like alcohol almost always doesn't lead toward a better place.
Right.
Or for a lot of people, it's extremely likely.
Yeah.
Whereas if you use something else responsibly, THC, whatever it is, it's almost like it's a sort of different lens to look at things. You can be more reflective. It's kind of a different aperture to view things from. And it's not like, oh, I'm going to wake up, you know, in a pile of my own puke under the table or something like that.
Exactly. Yep. Man, I two funny stories. So the first time I experienced THC was when I got out of law enforcement. Never touched it in high school. I was just like always military and hockey focused, and then I started dating Michelle, and then I became Michelle, and then pretty much military, then hockey came last. I was the last one on the ice and first one off the ice because I want to go hang out with Michelle. But my first time experiencing THC was back in 23, and I went home for a bachelor party. And my buddy's like, I'm out of law enforcement now. He's like, hey, dude, he's like, you should take this with me. Like, you'll like it. And I'm like, what is it? I'm like, what is this? And he's like, dude, it's just a THC edible. I'm like, okay, well, how much is it?
Good question.
I'm like, how much? He's like, it's 10. I'm like, is that good? Is that a lot? He's like, no, you'd be fine. And then my other buddy took it, and then and then Kyle took it, and then the guy that gave it to me, and then our buddy Dave took 2 of them. I'm like, okay. So we took that breakfast time, and it was supposed to be, it was one of those daytime ones, whatever they call that. And dude, come to find out, add another 0. Yeah. So my first experience was 100 milligrams, and we're on this boat, and my buddy, they're like, we're just getting shell here and float for a little bit, dude. And I'm like, I don't know if I want to. Like, come to find out, if it's 100, like, what's gonna happen? And they're like, oh, like, we gotta get this boat back. Like, it starts hitting them, and I'm like, holy shit! Like, it hasn't hit me. I'm like, so we get the boat back, and while they're driving the boat, Kyle's driving the boat. He's like, are we there? I'm like, bro, you literally went like 10 feet. Like, we are so far away from shore. He's like, I'm like, we're good. So we get it in. They go do their thing. One fucking Dave's paranoid. He's like just super paranoid. Like, he won't come out of his room. At one point, he's like looking at us because we're down on the boat, just chilling, and hasn't hit me yet. And Dave's up there He's like peeking his head around the corner. So he has 200 milligrams in him.
Oh God.
And then I'm like telling the guys, I'm like, I don't want to be in this state where these guys are at. Like, they're non-functioning. Kyle's in his bed just chilling there, just laying there. And like, it's a beautiful day. I'm like, I don't want to be there. I'm so pissed right now that there's 100 milligrams in me that hasn't hit. So we get on the boat, and I'm thinking, it's been an hour and a half. Nothing's happened. I'm like, okay, maybe it's not going to hit me. Maybe, like, I'm good. You know, maybe just because I've never experienced it before. And so we're good. We're out there hanging out, and now 2.5 hours have gone by. It has not hit me. I'm like, I'm good. And at one point, though, during this 2.5 hour, once 2.5 hours hit, I sat on the back of the boat, and I felt super chill. And I locked eyes with the horizon. Dude, I was fucking gone. I felt so good. I was just looking at the horizon, like, God, it's so beautiful. That is such a beautiful sun. You know? And then the giggles came out. But bro, after that, I got so freaking paranoid because we stayed at the sandbar in the lake waiting because they had to bring my buddy Brandon back, who's like, I got to get back to get me back to the freaking cabin because he took one. So I can't do this anymore. So I'm out there and I'm just like sitting there and I'm like, the guys that I'm with on the sandbar are cops still and they know what's going on. And they start messing with me. And now I'm just like, I'm not talking to you guys at all right now because you guys keep messing with me, and I don't even know if I'm talking to you guys right now. It feels like I'm having conversations, but I don't know if I'm having conversations. Well, I'm keeping my mouth shut. And so then eventually the boat comes back, which felt like ages, but I guess it was probably only like 10 minutes or so, but it felt like I was out there forever. I get in the front of the boat. We're driving somewhere, and I'm living in the future, the past, and the present. I don't know where I'm at. I know I'm on the boat, but I'm like, how many times have I just stood up to ask for my freaking tank top? I felt like I just did that. It was crazy, dude. It was so insane where reality was at that time. And then I remember thinking, I felt like I was in Gladiator. I felt like I was I had this feeling that I was in that freaking wheat field, running my hands through the wheat. It was the strangest thing ever. And then so we finally get to this to this island, and I'm sitting at the front of the open bow of the boat, just laying there. I was there for hours. I lay there with my legs crossed and my arms crossed, and I sat there and I had conversations with every single person on that island. And I don't think they ever happened. I don't think they ever happened. It was the strangest thing. Again, this is 100 milligrams for the first time. Will I ever do that again? No. That was insane. But I didn't do anything. I was a stone. I just sat there, didn't move, and then eventually I came out of it, and I was like, it's so funny how I came out of it. My buddies came up to me, and they're talking to me, and I'm like, I said, can you hear me? They're like, yes, we can hear you. I said, no. Can you hear me? Because I've been talking to you guys forever, and nobody's talking back to me. Like, it feels like we're talking, but I don't know if you guys actually can hear me. Like, John, we can hear you. I'm like, please just slap my arm right now if you can hear me. And they'd slap my arm like, you can actually hear me? And they're like, yes. I'm like, oh my gosh, I've made it. Dude, you don't know where I was for I don't know how long. But I'm back, man, I'm back. And then the rest of the night, it kind of just lingered around. Like, I was so chill the rest of the day with my buddy Kyle. At one point, we're sitting there. We walked over to Zorba's to get some food, and we're just at the tail end of it, I guess. It's been like 12 hours now. And we're just sitting there watching hockey. And we're just sitting there, we're like, nice. And then we both just started giggling. It's still here. It was so funny. But which leads me to my other experience. So I'm like, man, I'd rather experience that because I didn't do anything. Like, I felt like I was doing all this stuff, but I didn't move at all. But the first time I ever experienced alcohol, like getting drunk, was when I was 20. Just back from Afghanistan. We snuck into Cowboys down in Colorado Springs. And it was all you could drink for $10. And my buddies, they bought me the all you could drink $10 thing. Because like, dude, you're in here now. Let's go freaking party. Dude, I ended up teleporting the rest of the night. I got so freaking hammered. I was on the dance floor doing burpees. And then I'm in the bathroom. I don't know what I'm doing in the bathroom. I'm just standing in the bathroom, like looking in the mirror. And then I'm just like holding myself up against the wall on the urinal. And then I'm outside in the freaking parking lot with a Gatorade bottle in the barracks parking lot. And I'm puking. And then I'm in freaking my dorm room or my barracks room, like, and then I'm just feel like shit. I'm like, what the fuck happened, you know? But yeah, it was that was my first experience with THC. Never gotten 100. I was so pissed that I was a freaking. That sounds terrible. It was horrible, man. It was the worst thing ever. But I didn't move, I guess. Didn't move. Yeah, but yeah, it's But here I am. Now I'm like, I like the 10 mils.
Alive to tell about it, huh?
Yeah, we're allowed to tell about it. Now I like my little 10 milligrams every now and then. It's just a nice way, like, just to chill out. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So.
Seems like a good one to wrap her up there with. It's nice. Came in for a soft landing on that.
It's a good soft landing. Yeah. Definitely. That was awesome. No, I appreciate you having me on and get to tell a little bit about my story. Mm-hmm. And yeah.
Yeah, funny how just meeting you before for maybe 10, 15 minutes, doing a cold plunge together year and a half ago or something like that.
About that.
And here we are. So.
Here we are. Yeah, and I appreciate it.
All right, John. Hey, you know what? If you will, if you want to plug yourself, that way if anybody wants to buy a house from you here or anything like that.
Oh, yeah, that or just know about anything about getting out of the military, law enforcement, or whatever. If you have that desire that, hey, this isn't for me. I'm in your position. You know, it's like reach out to me, and I'd love to tell you, maybe just talk, and maybe because talking can open up doors. Just by having conversations, it can open up some sort of like clarity. Like, oh man, I didn't think about that. Maybe I'll look into that. But yeah, you can find me on Instagram, John R. Fontaine. Facebook, it's just John Fontaine. I'm primarily on Instagram, and then you can just go to I don't know if my email. I don't know if you need my email, but you can find our real estate team, the North Idaho Experience. You can just type us in. We have a YouTube channel, the North Idaho Experience, along with a podcast, the North Idaho Experience. So it's going to take you everywhere. But yeah, find me on Instagram, John R. Fontaine, and hit me up if you got any questions. So yeah, look forward to doing another one, man.
All right, brother.
Go down the rabbit holes.
Yeah, man. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you.
All right, folks. See you next time. Right on, dude. That was a good time.
Yeah.
I didn't know I was going to get so many laughs out of that.
Dude, that was fun.